Welcome guys. I do have some new discovery to share with you guys, and over here is about getting more loot from the chaos dungeons. And over here, as you can see, just to show you guys a visual comparison, what you can see is the first round is pretty much when I skipped the chaos dungeon. The second round is what happens when I don't skip the chaos dungeon. And I was testing this, and guess what? I actually got a cube ticket. And I realized this is also a way to increase our chance of getting cube ticket and also the boss rush ticket very slightly. So we'll talk about this briefly in the video, but the major focus is getting more materials in your chaos dungeons. And there's two methods of doing this. So notice I got a cube ticket, and this might not be a coincidence. I'll also show you how many cube tickets I got on my alt account as I was testing this idea. So just so you guys know, the chaos dungeons will drop the cube ticket and also the boss rush ticket. Those are very rare, and those are very good. I haven't got a boss rush ticket yet. And just to show you guys this is not a coincidence, I also got 2 cube tickets on my alt account. And this is not just one account, I'll show you guys a different account. So notice I have a lot of alt account. As I was testing this idea, I realized this might be increasing our chance of getting cube tickets and even boss rush tickets. I haven't gotten any boss rush ticket, so this alt account have 2 cube tickets as well. And if you also come to this bard account, notice that she also have 2 cube ticket because I was testing the idea of not skipping. Now, just to let you guys know, I don't know if this is a guarantee idea to help us increase the chance of cube ticket, or maybe I'm just extremely lucky. Most of my auto accounts start to get at least 1 ticket now. But what I can guarantee is this method will definitely increase the resource you get by not skipping. So I'll explain this with some notes, and let's go into it. So coming over to our notes about getting more loot in the chaos dungeon. Now, during the recording of this one, I'm actually kicked out of the server because I was writing for so much, and we got to wait for like 6,000. I was like, that ain't not stopping me from making video. So what I'm going to do is I'll use some of my replays to show you guys some footages, because I can't actually get into the game during the recording, but I really want to make this video. So the first thing is we do get 2 runs per day in a chaos dungeon that you can get mates. So basically you get 100 energy and you cost 50 energy to go each of the runs. It's very important to do this, and it's very important to do this correctly to get the cube ticket and also boss rush ticket. There's also hidden rooms and also secret bosses you can get. So what I actually realized, I only realized after I get into tier 2, is a lot of players are not skipping on their first 2 daily runs. And usually for me, I'm not an impatient guy, but I want to do it quickly. So back then when I did the chaos dungeons, and especially for my first 2, I want to get them done as quickly as I can. And during some of those runs, when the button pops up, I was trying to skip as quickly as I can. But now guess what I do? So for the first 2 runs, I stop skipping. I try to clear every mob if I can. This will take 1 to 2 minutes longer for those 2 runs. But this is definitely worth it. Not only because you'll have a higher chance of getting those tickets, which can only be dropped on the first 2 daily runs that drops the materials. You cannot drop those 2 tickets after. So those materials can only be dropped when you have energy. So you do get a slightly higher chance for dropping those tickets because you likely are killing more common mobs. Now just a brief talk about the cube and also the boss rush. I have never played the boss rush before because I never got a ticket. And I have gotten a ticket as you saw with the cube. And I've only got this ticket once on tier 1 and just recently on tier 2 when I stopped skipping. And just to show you guys the replay of the tier 1 ticket, because I actually didn't do my tier 2. So the tier 1 gang, I actually got a lot of the upgrade material, and those sells for at least 40 gold in my server. So over here is, if you notice over here, you can see on top, I have 15 of the star spread, and by opening this diamond cube chest, so I think I got 25 more star spread by doing this. So this is only a tier 1 cube. With the ticket we got, we can do the tier 2 cube. So hopefully by knowing this method of the chaos dungeon, you have a higher chance of getting your cube tickets. And this might help you to get a ton of loot. So fingers crossed guys, we get more of those tickets. I have already gotten one after I stopped skipping. So I stopped skipping after 2 or 3 days. And after getting the ticket, I really want to make this video for you guys. And just to make sure this is the way, and just make sure we actually get more loot, I actually tested this on my alt account. So over here you can see video clips of me using different auto accounts, and some of the accounts I'll try to not skip at all, which really pisses people off, and some of those auto accounts I will try to skip fully as quickly as I can, and people usually skip on those times. So by doing this at the right timing, I was able to collect a lot of data, at least from my side, and over here I'll show you guys the loot summary of what I collected. So this is after 1 day of skipping versus not skipping. Now over here, the first loot is actually the time I skipped fully, and this is the one I skipped fully. So this is for the 302 dungeon with the auto account. This is for the 340 dungeon with the auto account. So those two loots are the top ones I skip fully. Now the bottom ones is one I don't skip. I'm not sure what happened here. I think I might have made a mistake, maybe not enough. But definitely you can see a slightly higher increase of resource when I don't skip in the dungeons. So not only you get higher chance of getting your tickets, you also get more loots. You definitely get more materials. And over here you can see another comparison of me using 4 different auto accounts to compare the loots for not skipping versus skipping. Over here the first loot is when I don't skip. The second and third and also fourth loot is what happens when I skipped in my daily runs. So what I mean by that is those two first daily runs. So this is using my auto accounts. You can see a dramatic decrease of my loot materials if I skipped. The harder I skip, the less materials I get. So this is a big difference, guys, and you do get more loot for not skipping. And over here you can see the results. So the results really do show that if you actually don't skip, you will get more materials. At least for the tier 1. I didn't test for tier 2 though, because I actually just stopped skipping. So I spent about 7 minutes per run in a day. 2 of those runs I stopped skipping. I really didn't want to lose materials, so I actually tested this on tier 1. If you guys happen to have tested this on tier 2, let me know if you do get different resource. So what you do is you store your resource first on your first run, then you store all the resource you got on the second run. So the first run you can skip, the second run you don't skip. But I still recommend testing this on tier 1 because you don't want to waste your crucial runs every day by doing this on tier 2. Now coming over to the next part, this is when we actually want to skip after the 2 daily runs. This is when you're actually out of energy. So this is when you're 0 out of 50 and you're actually not getting any loot. You actually start to get shards from each of those rooms. This is when you want to skip as much as you can and get faster clears for each of the rooms. Because after reaching the second room, you have a chance for each of your runs. Even though they don't drop any materials, they have a chance for 2 different hidden rooms. And I've tested this myself. So the 2 hidden rooms, one of them will have a golden portal. And in this portal will be a boss monster. This golden monster would drop a bunch of materials, including gold and also upgrade mates, and also the 1-star percentage increase, whether it's your moon star or maybe the tier 1 star. This will worth at least 60 to 100 gold in value for getting the golden room. But what's even better is when you get the purple room. So over here is a replay of me fighting the chaos dungeon, and we'll try to do as fast as possible. I was actually a little lost and I actually died. So I want to show you guys the color of the portal. It's a little hard. It is a purple portal and I just barely saw it before I teleported in. So notice here, it is a purple golden portal over here. This is the portal you want to look for after your 2 daily runs. And this is when you get a ton of loot. You're going into a hidden boss. The boss is gonna be a little more challenging, but the reward is massive. So let me show you guys what I got just by killing this boss. So this is when you get even more loot by doing the chaos dungeon when you fully skip as quickly as you can to the second room. Only the second room opens this up. So I believe I got about 10 moon's breath by doing this, and this actually gave me a lot of values. So just by finding one of those purple rooms in your chaos runs, you can get at least 10 of those moon shard or one of those stars. And this can be, you know, about 600 to 1000 gold worth of value, depending on your tier level. So I think in tier 1, you get at least 500 or 300 gold in value. In tier 2, you get about 1000 gold of value. Now keep in mind, those of the items I just looted cannot be sold. So the boss drops items that you cannot sell them. But you will be needing those once you upgrade your gears. So although you can't sell them, you'll still have to buy them anyways because you need a lot of them once you get your gears to plus 14 to plus 15. Because in our guide, I'll talk about using those from 13 to 14 and 14 to 15. So you need like close to 200 of those. You have to buy them anyways. So when you can farm them, you don't have to buy them, you save a lot of gold. So those are the 2 hidden rooms we're looking for when doing the chaos dungeons, and try to rush to the second room. only the second room have a chance of giving this hidden room, and this is when you can get a small boost or maybe a massive boost of income just by doing the chaos dungeon after your 2 rounds. Now, it is definitely a little difficult to not be able to show you guys this in the game. I'm still queuing, I'm recording, so I apologize for this, to not be able to show you guys this in the game. I'll try to add a clip at the start to show you guys what I looted. So I did get a cube ticket by doing the first method over here for not skipping. And as for the second method, you saw in the replays, we did get a boss room by doing this as fast as we can for about 20 runs. So I think it took me about 20 runs of the chaos, and each of those rounds took about 5 minutes. So those took me about close to 2 hours to get one of those boss rooms. But hey, I was getting 1,000 gold worth of value. I was pretty happy, right? So just to give you guys a summary. So what I realized from a lot of veteran players and one of the friendly players who told me is that you should not skip on your first 2 daily runs in your chaos. And this is when you have 100 energy or 50 energy. And you have a slightly increased chance of getting your tickets. And also you can see here with the comparison, you do get higher loot even for the materials, whether it's the red shard or the blue shard. I tested this out with 6 accounts, and then I did this more again with 6 more accounts, but I couldn't find a replay for the other 6. So by testing those about 12 times, I do realize there is a constant increase of loot. And this is about 10% or even 20% more loot just by not skipping. And finally, you do want to skip as much as you can to get to the second room after your 2 daily runs of the chaos dungeon. And by doing this, you have the chance of the purple rooms and also the golden rooms, which gives you a massive boost in value. And for the items you really need to get once you get to plus 13 and plus 14. And those items will be essential, so make sure we get as much of those as you can. Now, if you guys haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, make sure you do so, because we'll be getting a lot of guides, a lot of tips as I discover them, and I love the game. So I want to share as much as I can with you guys, and let's have a great time in Lost Ark as we explore this game and get the most out of it.